Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. As of the moment, Mr. Chair, we have no quorum yet. Only three of you, Sir Elmer, Sir Arnold, and the end user here
Okay.
for the
So,
meeting. We already made a reminder to General Milo and Sir Arnel Borlado to please enter the virtual meeting,
okay.
sir.
Okay, sige.
Yes po.
Pagka mayroon na, advisean niyo lang ako, ha? Sige,
Will,
sige.
will do, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Secretariat, wala ba bang quorum?
Wala pang quorum, Mr. Chair. Wala. Pinalo up ulit namin kay General Milo, sir. Si Sir Arnel Borlado is in unofficial travel, Mr. Chair. So,
Okay, sige.
si General Milo na lang po yung magkukompleto dun sa ating quorum. If he's available,
Si
sir.
Cos, hindi pwedeng pumasok si Cos. Wala, kahit mag-join.
Nasa meeting din daw si Cos, sir.
Okay, sige.
Opo.
Standby lang ako.
Yes, sir. Opo. Thank you po.
Secretariat, anong update?
Mr. Mr. Chair, Member Arnel Borlado, sir, is now connecting, sir. May we request for a 2-minute before we start, sir? He's just connecting, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we now have a quorum, sir, and we can now start the meeting officially.
Everybody, sorry for the delay. Okay, so Secretariat, the meeting is now called to order, and we'll start it with prayer. Secretariat, please lead the prayer.
Yes, sir. May I now request Ma'am Len Peleo to lead us to a prayer. Miss Len, Ma'am
Good
Len.
afternoon. Yes, for good afternoon all. Let us be silent for our prayer today. Father, thank you for every seat that has been filled here today, for each mind and heart that feels the presence of this room. Bless this meeting today, all those present, as well as the lives of those we will encounter afterward. Ready us to make every moment count. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Okay, good afternoon again. So Secretariat, please make the roll call.
Yes, sir, we will. Miss Sally Pasan is requested to have the roll call or acknowledgement of the attendees for today's meeting. Miss Sally.
Good afternoon, everyone. Kindly acknowledge when your name is called. For Chairperson, Captain Donaldo Mendoza. Vice Chairperson, Engineer Arnold Balucating.
Present online.
Thank you, sir. Attorney Tanjung Lucas. Brigadier General Ernesto Milo. Engineer Elmer Gomez.
Present.
Thank you, sir. Engineer Arnel Borlado.
Present online.
Thank you, sir. For the BAC Technical Working Group, the head, Attorney Frank Edward Marty.
Present.
Thank you po. For the members, Engineer Raul Lucena.
Present po, online.
Thank you po. Engineer Michael Ilagan.
Present po.
Engineer Eva Lazatin.
Present po.
Thank you. Engineer Jofferan Torrefranca.
Present.
Engineer Emmanuel Tolosa.
Present, online.
Thank you po. Engineer Eduardo Sacopon.
Present.
Thank you po. Engineer Norit Paes.
Present.
And Mr. Mark Kevin Badwa. For the back secretary overall head, Engineer Leandro Varquez. Our head attorney, Godfrey Ragudo.
Present.
And our minutes taker for today is Miss Anna Ibay. And we also have other back secretariat members present online. For the end user po, sorry, I'm not sure of name. Kindly state the name na lang po. Thank you po. At that's all po, Attorney Buds.
Thank you, Miss Hali. There being
Back
four...
observer.
Yes, Mr.
Do we
Chair.
have observer?
We have an
Observer.
observer, Mr. Chair. We have the internal audit service. The notices to the private organizations was also sent, but as of this moment, Mr. Chair, none of them attended. But notices were sent to them, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Okay, so what is the agenda?
Before we proceed to the agenda, Mr. Chair, having four members for this meeting, we have the end user and 3 regular members, including the presiding officer. We have a quorum for today's meeting, Mr. Chair. Now, we now present the agenda for this afternoon's meeting, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Kailangan.
First in the agenda, Mr. Chair, is the opening of bids for the project entitled Supply and Delivery of High Gain Bi-Directional VHF Antenna for Remote Center Air-to-Ground or RCAG Enroute Transmitter in the amount of 4,817,975 pesos. The end user is INES. We have 2 bidders who successfully beat the deadline yesterday, Mr. Chair. And due to the non-quorum yesterday, Mr. Chair, the opening thereof was postponed for today. So we have also the representative physically and online by the one of the bidders who submitted its bid. We have the representatives from Evercon, Mr. Chair. And with me is also the technical working group to assist in the opening of the bid submitted, Mr. Chair.
You mentioned that there are 2 bidders. May I know what company is the other bidder?
The other bidder, Mr. Chair, is One Commerce International Corporation, and the other is Evercon Builders and Equipment Corporation, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so you mentioned also that there is a representative online from Evercon. How about the One Commerce? Do we have the representative online?
Hello, good
I
afternoon.
think the representative from One Commerce International Corporation is already online, Mr. Chair.
Okay, let them introduce themselves before the opening.
Hello, good afternoon.
May we first acknowledge, Mr. Chair, or to us, the representative from One Commerce International Corporation to state their full name and designation or position of the company they represent. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm JP Ordiliano, representative of One Commerce International Corporation. Thank you, Mr. Arnold and Backsec, for letting me introduce myself first.
Okay, how about the other representative? Other representative from Evercon?
May I request the representatives from Evercon to introduce themselves as well? First muna, dito yung physically present. Sige ma'am, please proceed.
Good afternoon to everybody. I'm Shirley Lagura from Evercon po.
And at the same time, those who are online for Evercon,
Good afternoon po to everybody. This is Lolita Ong from Evercon Builders.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon also. And okay, so Secretariat, KWG, you may proceed with the opening of the two bids.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So before we proceed with the opening of the submitted bid, starting with the bid proposal submitted by Evercon Builders and Equipment Corporation, may we request Ms. Shirley to confirm that this is the actual bid document that they submitted for this project?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Shirley. So we will now proceed, Mr. Chair, with your permission to the opening.
Okay, if you proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So inside that envelope are two envelopes containing the financial component and the original technical component envelope. So we'll start with the technical component envelope. So inspecting the document for pagination and signature. Okay. We'll now proceed with the checklist. Backcheck.
first in the checklist is the Field Jobs Registration Certificate, Platinum Membership.
Certificate of Field Jobs Registration, Platinum Membership, valid until November 17, 2022. Submitted.
Registration Certificate from the SEC, DTI, or CDA.
SAC certificate, submitted.
Mayor's or business permit.
Mayor's permit with expiration date 31st of December 2022, submitted.
Tax clearance.
Tax clearance with the expiration date February 2, 2023 submitted.
Statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts.
Statement of all government and private contracts ongoing which are similar or not similar in nature and complexity as the project. Submitted.
Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, similar to the contract to be bid.
Okay. Walang EF. Walang F eh. Ayun. Yeah. Statement of single largest completed contract, similar in nature and complexity. Signed, submitted.
Bid security.
Bid security in the form of bid securing declaration. Signed, notarized, submitted.
Technical specifications.
Technical specifications with compliance statement. Signed and submitted.
Duly notarized and signed omnibus sworn statement.
Omnibus sworn statement. Signed and notarized, submitted.
Legal clearance issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service.
Legal clearance signed by Attorney Mark Nestor T. Mendoza. Submitted.
Certification under oath, testing that there's no pending cases against the government.
Ayun. Certification under oath, there's no pending case against the government. Submitted.
The prospective bidder's computation of the net financial contracting capacity, or the NFCC.
NFCC in the amount of 4,506,741,769 and 34 centavos. Submitted.
If applicable, is there any joint venture agreement entered into by the prospective bidder?
Joint venture agreement not applicable. So the submitted technical component of Evercon Builders is initially rated as passed.
Okay, proceed with the second video.
Excuse me.
Okay,
Hello,
so
excuse me.
you have, okay, John, Philip, you're recognized.
Yes, Sir Arnold. Part of the technical component is the authorization or the manufacturer's certificate from the principal or manufacturer's certificate of authorization from the principal itself. It was not presented during the bid opening for Evercon.
Nag-submit po kami. Nasa letter... Anong letter yun?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Okay, go ahead.
Sir, this is from the technical working group. Upon verifying the checklist as provided in the bid document, sir, the said document or the question document by One Commerce is not indicated in the checklist, though it will still be part of the evaluation to be conducted during the bid evaluation and post-qualification, sir. But as per checklist of the technical and financial documents, said document is not included in the checklist, sir, for the information, sir.
Okay. To the representative of One Commerce, okay, can I reply ng TWG?
Hi, Sir Arnold. Yes, I think I'm okay now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Secretariat, proceed with the opening of the second bid.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So before we proceed with the opening of the second and last bid for the same project, may we call the attention of Mr. June Ordilio to confirm that this is the submitted bid for the same project, sir?
Hi, sir. Yes, confirming on the bid response of one joint venture of Transmolitor and One Commerce.
Thank you, sir. So, Mr.
Thank
Chair,
you.
we'll proceed with the opening. With your permission.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Okay. So inside the large packaging is another sealed set of documents. Still have to open. So the one document was exposed is the original financial component. And the remaining set of document is the original technical component. Thank you. Check. Document pagination and signing, all good. Please run the checklist, BAC. Thank you.
Okay. First in the checklist is the PhilJobs registration certificate, platinum membership.
PhilJobs certificate of registration, valid until 25th of January 2023, submitted.
Registration certificate, either from the SEC, DTI, or CDA.
SEC certificate of filing or registration, submitted.
Mayor's or business permit.
Mayor's permit, issued by the City of Makati, valid until 31st of December 2022, submitted.
Tax clearance,
Tax clearance. Valid. Where is it? Until December 21, 2022, submitted.
Next is the statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts.
Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. Signed and submitted. Yes, sir.
Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid.
Statement of single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid. Signed, submitted.
Bid security.
Sir, excuse, pwedeng makita po yung yung attachment ng single largest contract if similar to the project na which yung kailangan niyo po.
Mr. Chair, if I may respond to the query of Evercon Builders, Mr. Chair.
Okay, go ahead, PWG.
To the representative of the Evercon Builder, at this stage, ma'am, we are just checking the existence of the required documents, the presence and absence. So the evaluation of whether the submitted single largest completed contract is similar to the contract to be bid will be done during the bid, during the post-qualification and bid evaluation of the project. But for this stage, ma'am, we will just check whether they submitted the required document.
Sir, can I ask if they submitted a certificate of completion or end user's acceptance? If possible. Attachment po. Hello. During BAC evaluation na daw yun.
Ma'am, as to Mr. Chair, can I reply to Evercon, sir?
Go ahead,
Yes.
Evercon.
To the representative of Evercon, ma'am, the evaluation of the completeness of the supporting documents to the statement of single largest completed contract will be also done during the post-qualification. As of this stage, ma'am, we are just checking the existence of the document. As per checklist of technical and financial documents under letter F, it is stated here that statement of bidder's single largest completed contract, SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided in sections 23.4.1.3 and 23.4.2.4 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184 within the relevant period as provided in the bidding document. So the attachment, ma'am, will only be reviewed and considered during the evaluation process, ma'am.
Sir, pwede bang for noted yung regarding the attachment per IRR, the attachment is not only the completeness but the attachment is also pass or fail substantial.
We'll take note of that, ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am Shirley.
Okay, I think the question
Excuse me.
already.
Sorry. May I speak regarding the comment of the One Commerce? As I understand from GPP opinion, the requirement is that the project submitted should be similar to the requirement as stated in the bid data sheet. So since the requirements say certain project should be similar, this should be substantial, complete, not just anything you put it there, it's considered pass or fail. So since it's mentioned very clearly, it should be similar to the project. Can you please state what has been submitted, the name of the project. And also, I understand in the document, it was stated also that the document, supporting document should be there, such as the acceptance certificate or sales invoice or official receipt. I think that was also indicated in the bid documents. Thank you.
Attorney, please explain the
Yes.
checklist that we have.
Ma'am, as provided in the checklist of the bid documents, it is clearly expressed here that the things or the items that will be checked during the checklist or during the bid openings are the technical and the financial documents, and the list of documents are per component are indicated in the said checklist. So the evaluation of whether the submitted project is similar or not to the contract to be bid will be done during the evaluation phase of the project. So we will look into this. The technical working group will look into the project submitted, but as of this phase or as of this time, what we will do is just check the existence of whether the statement of single largest completed project is submitted or not, but we are not yet evaluating whether it is compliant with what is required under the SLCC provision, which is the 50% of the contracts, similar contract to be bid. So we take note of your manifestation po, ma'am, na it has to be similar to the project to be completed. Of course, we will be evaluating in accordance with that criteria. However, at this stage, bid opening, we will only check the existence of such document. Thank you, Sir Arnold.
Okay. So I think it's clear already to the representative of the Evercon. We'll take note on your comment, and of course, we will be informing on the result of the evaluation after we conduct the evaluation. And you will be, everybody will be notified on the result of the evaluation.
Thank you, sir. May I just know, since this is a public bidding, the documents shown there, can you please read the content of the documents submitted, the name of the project?
Ma'am,
It's the document open. So in other procurement entity, they usually also read what is the content on the document itself for the public to know. Thank you po.
Attorney.
Yes, for the benefit of those online attendees, we can read out what is indicated. I mean, the project indicated in the SLCC. May we request Engineer Norik, please, to read out the project submitted?
Yes, Attorney.
Without, of course, without prejudice later on to the evaluation whether this project is similar to the contract to be bid or not. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Attorney Pram. So in response to the request made by the representative from Evercon Builders, I'll be reading out the entry made under the document statement of single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid. The name of the contract listed is the Microwave Radio Replacement Program.
Okay, so I think the request of the representative from Evercon has been satisfied or has been answered. So can we move forward?
Okay. Permission to proceed, Sir Arnold.
Okay, you may proceed.
Yes, Mr. Chair. The next on the checklist is the bid security.
Bid security in the form of bid security declaration. Signed, notarized, submitted.
Next is the technical specifications.
Technical specifications with statement of compliance submitted.
Next is the duly signed and notarized omnibus sworn statement.
Omnibus sworn statement signed and notarized submitted.
Legal clearance issued by the CAAP's Enforcement and Legal Service.
Legal clearance issued by ELS submitted.
Certification under oath, attesting that there's no pending cases against the government.
Certification under oath, there's no pending case against the government. Signed, notarized, submitted.
The prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity, or the NFCC.
NFCC in the amount of 4,308,592,416 and 14 centavos submitted.
If applicable, joint venture agreement.
Joint venture agreement. This one. With Transmonitor Technologies Corporation submitted. With Transmonitor. So, Mr. Chair, for due prudence, considering that we've just now realized that the submitted bid of OneCom has a joint venture, so we'll be running the same set of checklist for the partner, which is Transmonitor Technologies, Mr. Chair.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, but we'll run through first all the checklists for OneCom. That's na yan. Okay, so that was the last entry for the checklist. So we'll proceed with the checklist for.
Okay. For Transmolitor, first in the checklist, the PhilJeff's registration certificate.
Transmonitor Technologies of PhilJeff's for the certificate of PhilJeff's registration for Transmonitor Technologies, valid until 25th of January 2023, submitted.
Registration certificate either from the SEC, DTI, or CDA.
SEC certificate submitted for Transmonitor Technologies.
Mayor's or business permit.
Mayor's permit with expiration date 31st of December 2022, submitted.
Tax clearance.
Tax clearance with expiration date of 21st of December 2022, submitted.
Statement of the bidders' ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started.
So it's the same. Yes. So statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not started, under the business name Joint Venture Transmonitor Technologies. Submitted.
Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract.
So we'll be counting the SLCC submitted by OneCom as the same document for Transmonitor. For the joint venture.
Okay. Bid security or
Sir, excuse, di ba pag joint venture, merong, for example, may omnibus si Transmolitor, meron din si, anong pangalan nito? Si Oncom. Pag ganun, di ba? Pag JV.
Omnibus sworn statement, ma'am, iisa lang po yun. Yung sa joint venture na po yun. Pero yung bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, but we need to check, of course, the net financial NFCC ng both companies and
Yung sa ano, sir, sa mayor's permit, di ba meron din, dapat hiwalay meron si Oncom, meron si Transmolitor.
yes po, ma'am. Legal documents will be checked po.
Di kasi nakita.
This is for the list of eligibility documents for. This is the list of eligibility documents for OneCommerce. Ito pala, sorry. And this is for the Transmolitor. So
Yes,
they
sir.
have 2 sets. So we're done.
omnibus or statement. Isa lang rin.
So
Legal
bas-
clearance, isa rin. Legal clearance for Transmolitor.
Legal clearance issued to Transmonitor Technologies. Legal clearance issued to Transmonitor Technologies submitted. Meron.
Yung ano, sir, pwede patingin yung no pending case sa dalawa kung meron po.
Certification under oath attesting that there are no pending case against the government.
Certification of no pending case against the government for Transmonitor Technologies. Signed, notarized, submitted.
Yung isa, sir.
Yan, pending case. Wala si Oncom.
Excuse me. Can you please go over if they have submitted respective secretary certificate to enter into joint venture by its company?
Ma'am, Mr. Chair, through the chair, ma'am, we are still reviewing some other documents. Perhaps we will be looking into that document later, as we are still following a specific procedure here. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you po.
Sige, sir. Wala, sir.
To the representative of the One Commerce Corporation, sir, are you still online?
Yes, online.
Yeah, sir, we would just like to verify, sir, if you have submitted legal clearance for One Commerce. What we only see here is the legal clearance of Trans Monitor, but no legal clearance for One Commerce.
Okay, let me answer that, Mr. Chair. For the legal clearance, and yes, for the legal clearance, we only submitted it under Transmonitor, since as per indicated in our joint venture agreement, Transmonitor is the lead bidder for this project.
Thank you for that, sir. Mr. Chair,
Attorney Dred.
considering, Mr. Chair, the absence of the legal clearance from One Commerce, one of the companies of the joint venture, what we only have here is the legal clearance of Trans Monitor Technologies. The technical working group, Mr. Chair, is hereby recommending for the disqualification of the bid submitted by the joint venture for not complying the required legal clearance for both companies constituting the joint venture for consideration and approval of the committee, sir.
Before we consider your proposal, could you cite what provision of the checklist or the document wherein One Commerce was not able to comply?
Sir, can you give us 1 minute, sir? We will just check, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, it is under the provision item 21.2 of the bid data sheet, which provides that a certificate, letter B, number 2, which provides that legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service with respect to the non-pendency of any cases of prospective bidders against the authority. And this is this requirement, Mr. Chair, is in addition to the eligibility requirements of the prospective bidder. And considering, Mr. Chair, that the in joint venture cases, eligibility of the companies constituting the joint venture has to be submitted, and failure of one of the companies to submit the legal clearance is also, it would also constitute non-submission of the eligibility component of, or eligibility requirement.
Okay, thank you, Attorney. So, the TWG is recommending for this disqualification of the joint venture of One Commerce.
Hello, Attorney.
So, okay, we may hear comment from the One Commerce.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Attorney Lazaro from One Commerce.
Go ahead, Attorney.
Hello? Yeah, upon checking kasi nung bid documents, yung checklist, yung legal clearance that is being required by CAAP, nakalagay siya under technical documents. So, ang understanding namin dyan is for technical documents, either one of the joint venture partners ang pwede mag-comply for the legal clearance. So, ang nangyari, ang nag-submit lang sa amin is si Transmonitor.
Okay, thank you, Attorney. So,
Yes,
nevertheless, our TWG is recommending for the disqualification. Now, first, of course, we need to decide as a member of the BAC with that recommendation, and later on, whatever the result of our decision, then I think the group of One Commerce will be given a time to appeal to whatever decision of the BAC members. Attorney TWG, please.
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the technical working group, sir, to disqualify the submitted bid of the joint venture One Commerce and Transmonitor for failure to comply the requirements as provided in the Philippine bidding documents of for this project.
Okay, so okay, to the members of the BAC, may I hear comment or motion?
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Elmer.
Yes, I move to adopt the recommendation of the technical working group to disqualify One Commerce and joint venture Transmonitor for not complying with the submission of the legal clearance coming from CAAP, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Elmer.
Mr. Chair, if I may, Attorney Lazaro again po.
What is the pleasure? What is the query of Attorney Lazaro?
Yes, Mr. Chair, if I may, we already have another project with CAAP involving a joint venture, no, and we were allowed to proceed with the project, and the project was awarded to us, even if it is only one of the joint venture partners who provided the legal clearance po. So, may we move for a reconsideration of the decision of TWG, Mr. Chair, as well as the committee.
Okay, later, Attorney, because we haven't yet make a decision, so maybe you can do that after our after adopting, if we adopt the recommendation of the WD.
Thank you, Chair. We submit. Thank you po.
Okay, so to the other members of the BAC, there is a motion already for the disqualification. May I hear comment or second the motion.
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So with the recommendation of the TWG as well as there is a motion and second the motion, the BAC adopt the recommendation of TWG for the disqualification of One Commerce and its partner. Okay, so with that, okay, so TWG, please take over how the other bidder, One Commerce, would submit their appeal.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. To the representative of One Commerce, ma'am or sir, will you be filing a motion for consideration? And considering that you already raised or manifested your intention to file a motion for reconsideration, ma'am, sir, we will be sealing your documents, and you have only 3 days to submit your written motion for reconsideration. And should the BAC decide, I mean, should the BAC approved or granted your motion, these sealed documents will be reopened.
Okay, we will just submit our written motion for reconsideration. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Secretariat, proceed with the next step.
Yes, sir. Now is the opening for the financial component. Sir Nori?
Before opening the financial component, how the One Commerce will sign on the sale document, attorney?
Sir, we will have it signed na lang po by the members of the Bids and Awards who are present, Bids and Awards Committee who are present here, as well as witnessed by the representative of one of the bidders here, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Secretariat, proceed with the opening of financial bid of one bidder.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we'll now proceed to the opening of the financial bid of Evercon Builders and Equipment Corporation. Maxek?
First in the checklist for the financial component is the price schedule.
Price schedule using the 4 goods offered from above form, signed, submitted.
Next is the duly accomplished financial bid form.
Duly accomplished financial bid form in the amount of 2,778,888 pesos, which is within the ABC submitted. Okay. The financial component submitted by Evercon Builders and Equipment Corporation is initially rated as passed. With that, Mr. Chair, the TWG would like to recommend for the bid evaluation of the submitted tender or bid of Evercon Builders and Equipment Corporation to check for the completeness and arithmetical correction, if any. Mr. Chair, thank you.
Okay, the financial bid of Evercon has been opened, and as per TWG, it's compliance. So, to the members of the BAC, any motion for the recommendation that the bid evaluation be conducted to the submitted bid of Evercon?
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Elmer.
I move to adopt the recommendation of TWG for the bid evaluation of the submitted bid by the Evercon.
Thank you, Elmer. Any second the motion?
I second, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. So the BAC adopt the recommendation of TWG for the conduct of bid evaluation for the submitted bid of Evercon builders. So ordered. Okay, Secretariat, any more comment or advice on this PDD?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Again, we wish to remind the representatives from One Commerce International Corporation, if they intend to file the MR, be submitted within 3 days. And with that, we request the bidders from both the Evercon and One Commerce International Corporation. Thank you for participating, and we'll be notifying of any updates from the technical working group once they finalize their evaluation of the bid. So you may now, you are now excused, the representatives from both Evercon and One Commerce International Corporation.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, bidders.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Secretariat, what is the next agenda?
Yes, sir. May I request Sir John and Ma'am Lolita Ong to, you're now excused po. You will be notified of the updates insofar as this project is concerned.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you rin po, ma'am. Sir
you
John
po.
Philip.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank you rin po.
Bakir.
Opo.
Okay. Bye.
Okay po. Before we proceed, Mr. Chair, with the presentation of the next agenda, may we acknowledge the presence of General Milo. Sir, good afternoon.
Yeah. Nasa gitna kasi ng
Good afternoon.
Yes,
Hindi
sir.
namin maputol yun naman. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So thank you, sir, for attending this meeting. Okay, so let's proceed with this next agenda. Mukhang napa-kon tayo doon napa-challenge na suba tayo doon.
Next in the agenda, Mr. Chair, is the determination of mode of procurement for the project titled Emergency Replacement of Existing Microsemi Sync Server, 250 NTP server at Philippine Air Traffic Management Center in the amount of 3,778,040 pesos, the end user and ANS. May I request the representative of the ANS to present this project.
Thank you.
Hi, Sir June, please.
Allow me to share my screens. Yes, allow me to share my screen, sir.
Yes, sir, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to present to you our purchase request entitled Emergency Replacement of the Existing Microsemi Sync Server 250 NTP Server at Philippine ATM Center. The EPC of which is 3,778,040 pesos. The source of funds is the approved APP for fiscal year 2022 under communication expenses for cable, satellites, telegraph, and radio with APP code number 0777. This is actually a realigned budget taken from the subscription for the this line for Puerto, Lawag, and Mactan. We already terminate already have our own BSAT. The CBA number is 22-05-0417, dated May 18, 2022. For the background, a workstation or a computer uses the network time protocol via internet to synchronize its time and date. The internet time is synchronized with an atomic clock. This is the most accurate time source in the world with a precision of 0.02 to 0.01 seconds. The precision depends on your internet connection and how busy is your computer. This is only for a work desktop or a single computer, but in a network with a complex network like the Philippine ATM Center, whereby several systems like the radar data processing system, flight data processing system, and controller workstation are connected. We need a network time protocol server. The NTP server helps computer clock time to be organized in a network. Microsemi Sync 250 NTP server uses a GPS time and frequency as the source of clock for synchronization. A limitation of the GPS as a source is what we call the GPS rollover week, whereby a GPS signal specification only uses 10 bits. In engineering layman's term, that is equivalent to 2 raised to 10 minus 1, or it can only allow 1023 steps or 1023 weeks, or equivalent to 19.5 years. This is addressed by using an internal time NTP server like the Microsemi Sync server. Although the next GPS rollover week will be on November 21, 2038, our current NTP server can only provide internal rollover update until September 18, 2022, because Microsemi has already reached its end-of-life support. It has been discontinued and must be upgraded to Microsemi S600 NTP server. Shown here at the top is the Sync 250 server, and the new version, which is the Microsemi S600 below. We already contacted the Microsemi, and they have a local partner in the Philippines in the name of Industrial Electro Communication Incorporated, the exclusive representative for Microsemi frequency. And for that, Mr. Chair, we are recommending direct contracting as a mode of procurement. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Inducer. Thank you, John. Okay, so you are recommending that the project be procured by direct contracting. So do the representative of Microsemi have this document, only document necessary as a proof that they are the loan distributor for this equipment in the Philippines?
Yes, sir. Shown here is the letter of authorization stating that they are the exclusive representative for Microsemi Frequency and Time Corporation for the said project, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And we are procuring a server which is a new version of the old one. So from server,
yes, Mr. Chair,
to server 600, is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair, the new version is the Microsemi S600 NTP server.
And is this what do you call it? In the connection, there is no problem with the integration of the existing system.
I think there will be none, Mr. Chair, because it's the same system. The problem only with the old server is we will not be able to upgrade or apply a patch on it so that it can function as the same as it is needed, Mr. Chair.
is the installation included in this project?
Yes, Mr. Chair, based on our program of work shown here, installation materials, site survey, installation, testing, and commissioning will be is present in this program, Mr. Chair.
How about the warranty?
I think, sir, we have the standard 1-year warranty for every program that we do.
Okay. Okay, so to TWG and Secretariat, TWG, as well as the members of the WAC, do you have other question or query or comment?
Sir, for the TWG, sir,
Yes,
before
sir.
we make our recommendation, Sir Jun, just want to ask, sir, whether this system, the upgraded system or the upgraded version will be working, I mean, will this be working with other systems, existing systems that we do have right now? Or I mean, if this would be working with other systems, would there be possible implications as to compatibility?
Yeah.
Or hindi naman po? As for my appreciation lang po. Sorry, I'm not that technical.
With regards to the compatibility, sir, I don't think there will be a problem on it because this is the same as the same brand that we are using right now.
Kasi
It's just a newer version. Yeah.
just my analysis kasi baka parang considering that this is a higher version with our existing systems which will be working with this system, compatible ba siya or well, considering na you already studied this and I know for a fact that you have the expertise in this field. Mr. Chair, the technical working group would recommend also I would recommend to adopt the recommendation of the end user to have this project directly contracted with what company again, Sir Jun? Sorry.
Industrial Electrocommunication Incorporated, Mr. Chair, the local partner of Microsemi Corporation.
That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
For the Secretariat, Mr. Chair, having the technical working group recommended for the adoption of the end user's recommendation as well, we will only request once the BAC approves the authorized representative and the address and other contact or other details from the counterpart of Microsemi here in the Philippines. That would be all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So may I hear comment or motion from the members of the BAC?
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, before the motion, may I just be clarified something?
Go ahead, sir.
The end user, may I ask, why is it emergency?
Yes, Mr. Chair, because I think the existing MTP server can only provide the rollover for September 18, 2022, Mr. Chair. Sir. The end of life support for the servers, yes.
So supposedly as early as first quarter, we know already that it has to be replaced by September. Tama?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Bakit ngayon
yes,
lang?
sir.
Yeah.
Bakit ngayon lang? It should have been first quarter kung emergency na.
Yeah, maybe the question of General Milo is that first we did realignment for this project lately, and also why is it that we procure only this time? So June, kindly clarify that.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Nag-realign.
Yes, sir. Realign budget po to, sir.
So ibig sabihin hindi rin napasama doon sa EPP natin ng 2022. So bakit? Yun ang
Yes, sir.
Ikaw mo dyan. Yes. Yun, clarify mo yun.
Okay, Mr. Chair. Basta nga na may na-realign.
Yes, sir. This is properly documented sa mga namin, sir, mga document namin na sinabi.
Okay. Next question is how can be assured na only one has supplier for this? Did we search for other, or did we attempt to search for others aside from what you have said, the supplier?
Sir, the certification from Microsemi stated that they are the exclusive partner for this project only, sir.
Suppose mayroon tayong makita na iba pala pwede. They are also supplying like this.
For Microsemi, sir, I don't think there will be other brands maybe, sir. Pero yung compatibility with our system, sir, is I cannot assure you, sir.
Okay. Tina-challenge lang kita. I just want to be assured na indeed you are sure enough na talagang siya lang ang talaga. Para sooner or later, kung may konting challenge na direct contracting. Supposedly, I should appreciate na kasi nag-depend lang tayo sa sulat eh. Wala tayong attempt to source from others.
Wala pang red ribbon to. Di ba mayroong mga red ribbon na hinahanap yun? Wala na ba yun?
Yung bago ngayon, sir, yung apostille, sir, kailangan pa rin ata nilang papa-apostille yung document nila na to, sir.
So, i-require natin yun.
Yes, sir. We will be requiring them to submit the apostille document, sir.
Okay, Mr. Chair, yun lang. At least I have already manifested my observation and it was duly answered naman.
Okay.
No more comments on my end, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so mayroon pa pang ibang comment sa members?
Again, sir, to the Secretariat, the notice for the submission of the required documents as mentioned by General Milo will be one of the things that will be requiring the local supplier of Microsemi to submit, Mr. Chair. So, yun po yung magiging basis natin to see to it that the documentary requirements will be complied with, Mr. Chair. Yun po.
Thank you. Okay, so about mayroong comment na or may I hear motion?
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
I move to adopt the recommendation of the technical working group to have this one doing direct contracting. It's about the procurement. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Posting, di ba? Posting pa to?
Sir, after the identification of the modes, sir, we will be writing directly to the supplier together with all the requirements for the submission of the requirements, and this will also be posted as well, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you, PWD. So, there is already a motion for the adoption of the recommendation of PWD. May I hear a second motion?
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, sir. With the request of end user and recommendation of TWG, with first motion and second motion. The BAC will adopt the request of each user for the direct contracting, and the secretariat is directed to perform the necessary action to be taken by contacting the proponent or the for the possible contractor for this project, as well as the posting of this project. Thank you. Okay, so
Yes, sir, duly noted on that. So, with respect to the next agenda, Mr. Chair, is the other matters. May I request,
Okay.
may I request Attorney Frank, the head of the technical working group, to first discuss the first other matters for this afternoon's meeting.
Thank you, Attorney Ragudo. With the permission of the chairman, sir, the technical working group has two items for other matters. First is the letter from Quicksilver Construction Services, sir. This is in relation to the project Siquijor Airport, emergency repair of the damaged areas at Siquijor Airport due to Typhoon Odette at Siquijor Airport, Kang Alwang, Siquijor. So, we received a letter, the BAC office received a letter, sir, addressed to the chairman of BAC Alpha, Captain Donaldo Mendoza, and if I may be allowed to read it, sir, it says here that I respectfully manifest that I am waiving my right to move for reconsideration or to appeal my disqualification during the opening of bids last May 31, 2022 at 1400 p.m. for the project entitled 22-00805 Alpha Emergency Repair of Damaged Areas at Siquijor Airport due to Typhoon Odette at Siquijor Airport, Kang Alwang, Siquijor. For your information, respectfully yours. And the letter is signed by Mr. Kenneth M. Patria, the proprietor or the manager of Quicksilver Construction Services. Be it recalled, Mr. Chair, that Quicksilver Construction Services was disqualified during the opening of bids for failure to comply the pagination requirements as indicated in the instruction to bidders. With this waiver of right as submitted by Quicksilver, Mr. Chair, the technical working group now is recommending for the considering that we have not yet declared the failure of bidding for this project, the technical working group hereby recommends for the declaration of failure of bidding for no bidders past the opening of bids. At the same time, Mr. Chair, we are also recommending for the reposting of the said bidding of the said project for consideration and approval, sir.
okay. Thank you, Tony. So, hearing the manifestation of TWG, any comment or motion from the members of the BAC?
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Helmet.
Yeah, move to adopt the recommendation of the technical working group to declare the bidding for secure rehabilitation failure of bid.
About the rebidding.
And the reposting of the said project, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So there is a motion for the declaration of failure of bid, the bidding for the project in Siquijor, as well as for the rebidding of this project. Any second motion?
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, with the recommendation of the CWG as well as the first motion and second motion, the BAC adopt the recommendation of TWG for the declaration of the failure of bidding for the project in Siquijor, rehabilitation project in Siquijor, as well as the recommendation for the rebidding of this project ordered. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sir,
Let's go.
the second item that we wish to present, Mr. Chair, is the request of the Air Navigation Service for the resumption of the negotiation of meeting with Concepcion Otis Philippines Incorporated for the supply, delivery, installation of motor encoder for Otis Elevator at Lawag ATC Tower. So this memorandum, sir, was received by BAC last June 21, and as indicated in this memo, BAC Alpha conducted a meeting last March 7 and decided that the end user to review and update the budgetary quotation before the negotiation, and this was done by the end user, and they were able to obtain a price quotation provided by Concepcion Otis Philippines Incorporated, and it is dated June 17, 2022. So, considering the update that they provided, Mr. Chair, and the necessity to continue this project, the end user is recommending for the continuation of the direct contracting be as a mode of procurement with Concepcion Otis Incorporated being the exclusive distributor of the marketing, furnishing, installation, and servicing of Otis equipment. So, attached in this memorandum, Mr. Chair, is the updated quotation provided by the service company, as well as the certificate of certificate for distribution and service, also provided by the company.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Tony. May I ask if the approval for this request with the costing sufficient for the proposed for the quotation?
The quotation, Mr. Chair, amounts to 267,000 pesos inclusive of VAT, and the purchase request total approved, the amount approved for us indicated in the purchase request is also 267,000 pesos, equivalent to that of the proposal or the quotation as provided by the service company Otis, Mr. Chair. So it is sufficient, Mr. Chair, just to be sure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tony. The recommendation of TWG is to conduct direct negotiation.
Mr. Chair, the recommendation of the technical working group is to set direct contracting as a mode of procurement and for the conduct of negotiation with Concepcion Otis Philippines Incorporated being the exclusive distributor of the Otis equipment here in the Philippines, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So the mode of procurement is proposal is direct negotiation, but do we have to decide whether this is SBP or it will be acted by the BAC? It will be done by the BAC, not the procurement division. This is only 267,000. So,
sir, considering, sir, that this is a direct contracting, the BAC can do the direct contracting regardless of the amount, sir. Small value procurement would be under the procurement division, but considering that this is, although this is less than 1 million, but the mode of procurement as indicated is direct contracting, it will still be the BAC Alpha who can negotiate for or directly contract with Otis, Concepcion Otis for these projects, sir.
okay, thank you, Tony. Okay, so again, the recommendation at TWG is to decide the mode of procurement, which is direct contracting, and to conduct a negotiation. Is that correct, Attorney?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay, is there any motion or comment from the members of the BAC?
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Elmer.
Move to adopt the recommendation of the technical working group to have both the procurement as direct contracting with concession notice and have a negotiation with the company. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Can you say
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, sir. So with the recommendation of TWG, with the first motion, second motion, the BAC adopt the recommendation for the decision for the conduct of direct negotiation, direct contracting, and for the conduct of direct negotiation to the loan distributor of this of the elevator parts. Ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all for the technical working group, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so Secretariat, do we have other matters?
For the Secretariat, Mr. Chair, we have no other matters to discuss unless the members of the BAC have some concerns to raise or matters to discuss, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, for me, today is 22, so do we have can we have a meeting before the June 30?
Mr. Chair, for the technical working group, sir, we are proposing to have another meeting if possible on the 27th or the 28th. We will be presenting two post-qualification, which we hope na papasa po sila sa post-qual if para po ma-award before the 30th. These are two ANS projects, Mr. Chair. And the technical working group will be doing the site inspection validation perhaps on Friday and even on the weekend, just for us to catch up with the meeting most probably on Monday or Tuesday, if possible with the members of the committee, sir.
Appreciated, Attorney. So if we could have another meeting.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If I may, I just forgot, Mr. Chair, that we have an opening of bids on the June 28th. That is Tuesday, Mr. Chair. So we really request the members of the BAC to attend on that particular day.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Just to remind everyone, and advance notice will also be given, or the notice of the meeting will be given within the week, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Secretary. And then last query is that yung honorarium ng members.
Sir, yun sana ipapahabol ko din sana, sir. Naunahan mo ako, sir. Sir, the BAC Secretariat is now working on the documentation needed. They all submitted na, and most probably it will be finished before the last meeting for this month, sir. We hope to expedite everything. Pero yun sana yung sasabihin ko, sir, kanina. Pero naunahan mo ako, Sir Arnold. Thank you, Sir Arnold.
Okay. So with that, I think we have no more other matters. So maraming salamat sa participation niyo, and see you on the 28th of June.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.